Couch Convo with Coach Karla. I am your host, Coach Karla, and we are here with our special guest, Miss Maxine Lachey Henderson. Welcome.
Thank
She
you.
is the funding plug, and we're going to learn a little bit more about her. But first, we're about to get into this delicious Moscato. Woo! This little celebration now. And this wonderful cake. You always got to have cake for a celebration. Woo! I'm trying to see it. Can y'all see it? All right, we're gonna get that cake started. So, but what we'll do is, as I cut the cake and pour us some Moscato, you feel comfortable telling us a little bit about, telling the audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hey, everybody. My name is Maxine Henderson, aka the Funding Plug. I am the founder of the Lavish Business Experience. I have been working with small business and nonprofit organizations since 2021. I've won over $3 million for my clients in grant money. I'm also working with business credit. I help entrepreneurs build business credit, get government contracts, and also qualify for CDFI lenders. And that's with bad credit. That's what everybody wants. I got bad credit. Can you help me? Yes, I can help you. That's why they call me the funding plug.
All right. And businesses need funding. I know our conversation was that a lot of times entrepreneurs, we use our own money as opposed to getting into business funding. We're going to take our seat and then get into the questions as we enjoy the Moscato and the cake.
Yes, ma'am.
And you all know, well, those of you who follow me, you know that I'm a therapist. And one of my big things is always celebrate your victories. And it is a big deal that we have made it in radio and TV for the past 4 years. Now, Couch Convo with Coach Karla has 2 anniversaries. The other anniversary is in August, and that's when we celebrate the whole entire time that the show has been going for 5 years. So when we hit 5 years in August, I don't want y'all to be like, oh, she telling a story. No, we celebrate 2 anniversaries. The 4th anniversary of being in radio and TV in May, and the second, okay, y'all, the 5th anniversary of being in existence in August. And so we are gonna ask, wait a minute, I gotta taste this Moscato. Baby, come on, y'all. And now, y'all, when I posted it, cheers to 4 years. All right. When I posted it on Facebook, I told y'all, pull up with your Moscato, your wine, your champagne, your tea, whatever you like. Ooh. Oh my goodness, it's good, y'all.
It's good.
Oh, that girl know what she doing. Come on now.
Yes, she do.
Okay, so how did you get into this field?
Well, it was kind of thrown in my lap. So, as an entrepreneur, you know, if you hear get the LLC, get the EIN.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you that you're not supposed to use your personal money to continue to grow your business.
Okay.
So when I got into it, I just started researching, and I seen the word grant on the internet, and I'm like, what's that? And me, I'm a researcher.
Yeah.
I love to figure out things and find new things. So I started researching in 2021.
Okay.
2022 was when I first took my first client, and I was able to get only one win, but I was just starting out, so I celebrated that. I got started. The one reason why I started doing with entrepreneurs is because entrepreneurs is it's like a 69% chance that they don't apply for funding because we've been groomed. We've been trying to get the 9 to 5, use that to put it in your business, but that's not the right way.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use it to legally structure, pay for the LLC, get the domain, all of that. But when it's time to get equipment, supplies, general operating support, that's when we're supposed to dig into other people's money.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't do it. A lot of entrepreneurs don't do it because they're afraid, bad credit, they just the lack of knowledge.
Right.
Is really what hurts a lot of entrepreneurs.
Now, I'm going to tell you an important one that you left out. And for me as an entrepreneur, the time.
Yeah.
the time to fill out the paperwork. And then, like you said, you spend a lot of time researching, the time to research
Because that's the biggest.
which grants to apply for. And maybe also we don't know, like you mentioned, that's my first time ever hearing that when you're buying equipment and things like that, that's when you need funding. Okay. And you mentioned equipment and a couple of other things. What were those other things that you
General
mentioned?
operator support. Like, just say you have a boutique.
Okay.
There are grants that will help you support that. Like, get the inventory, get the supplies, get the printers, get the computers, get the laptop. There are grants for that. Minority grants, woman-owned grants. All of those things have been put in place for us.
The other thing, and the cake is good too. I'm so sorry, Maxine.
Oh, give me some cake.
Look, you want a little piece or a big piece?
Oh, baby, give me a little piece. I'm trying to watch my figure.
I ain't trying to watch my figure today, baby. But and Ebony is in the audience, and our engineer Angel, y'all are welcome to some as well now. All right. So, the other thing that I was trying to say is, okay, the time to do it. But also, okay, applying for grants. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to mention. As Black people, we often feel that we're automatically going to be denied for whatever it is.
Yes.
Because we are used to having that experience. I mean, and I've shared that before on social media that, when I applied for a house, I had a good job, and I knew that I had another friend that had the same job as me, same salary, and we both were applying for a home at the same time. We both had good credit. So when they got approved, I got happy because I was like, okay, well, if he got approved, I'm going to get approved too. Now, he was white, I was Black. The only difference was our skin color. And I mean, the same bank. So, and I would say the name of the bank, but I don't think they in business no more. So, but that happens to us so much when we do have all of our ducks in a row, everything lined up like we're supposed to. We get told no. And so I think that's probably a big part of why a lot of us don't apply for grants as well. What do you think?
Yeah, that is. They I just try to explain to all my grant clients, that's a part of the process. Every grant is not going to be a yes.
Okay.
Every funding opportunity is not going to be a yes. It's a part of the game. But if you don't play, you never know what you're going to win. But a lot of us will sit back and be like, well, I'm just not going to do it. But out of that fear of rejection and denial. But as an entrepreneur, you're not going to always hear yes.
Okay. And so, yeah, we know that. And so we spend a lot of time, and I laugh because it resonated with me. I spend a lot of time selling myself. And as a therapist, when you go to, I call it therapy school, but when you're working on your master's in counseling for 3.5 years, we don't talk about, you're going to have to sell yourself when you're a therapist, and sell your services to people. And that ends up being, I spend a lot of time doing that, on social media and with different organizations. So, yeah, that's one of those things that we're really not aware of until we're actually in it. And I think that makes it more difficult too. What training did you have to do this type of work?
You don't have to have anything.
To be a grant writer? Okay.
You do not have to have a degree. On a corporate level, yes, they want you to have a degree. But
okay.
Like working with school systems and bigger corporations, they require you to have a bachelor's degree. That's the minimum requirement. But just to be an independent freelance grant writer, all you have to have is experience, some receipts, and you can get jobs.
Okay.
You can get jobs, and as a service provider, I get a lot of no's too. Yeah, I get a lot of no's too, and that's okay because I know that each level in business is different for everybody.
Okay.
I'm really not for the ones that's just starting out.
Okay. All right.
And I'm figuring it out now.
Okay.
I'm not for the ones that just starting out. Yes, there are startup grants, but a lot of times with the new businesses, when they get that first pick of no, you didn't get it, no, you didn't get it, no, you didn't get it, that's when they stop and they say, oh, a grant's not real and I can't get business funding. And I don't want to be the first person that they come in contact with to make them feel like that.
Wow. I don't know. We're going to have to talk about that a little bit.
I don't like hate.
We got to talk about that a little bit.
I don't, because it's I've had the experience, and it's always led to a bad experience.
Okay, but we can keep. I mean, okay, so
keep helping them. Now, my heart is always gonna be with, helping them try to figure out the processes.
Yeah.
I mean, I have ebooks and guides and how to do it yourself. Do it yourself. I have all of them put in place, but it's just the service.
when we're running our business, we're working 50, 60 hours a day. 9 times out of 10, we're not going to apply for a grant on our own.
Right.
That's just my opinion. And but try me in this. If you go out there and Google and do some research, and how many entrepreneurs are going to take the time to apply for a grant on their own, I bet you it's not many.
Right.
So I mean, I'm all about teaching entrepreneurs that you need help, you need assistance. You might need a virtual assistant, because now I use a virtual assistant sometimes for my website, things that I can't do or don't have time to do, and as you grow, you're going to need help. You can't do an empire, that big old dream that you have. You can't do that by yourself.
Yeah.
So
that's what I tell. I tell a lot of people, like, especially in my mentorship, my community for business owners, like I have a small community and I work with them, is where I tell them the same thing, like, you can't do it all.
Right,
You can't.
right. And it can really, run you in the ground. I think a lot of times that's why we see businesses go ahead and pull out, after 4, 5, 6 years because they're tired. They are worn out.
Exhausted.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot. It can be a lot.
It is.
So we talked about what you don't like about what you do. What's the best part about what you do?
The wins.
The win.
Yeah, and it's not just, I won a grant or I got that client a grant. It's me celebrating them because they went up a stage in business. Just say if they went from nothing, because I've helped over 60 businesses become fundable in the past 7, 8 months. Well, probably 9 months now. But seeing them go from not knowing what to do, not knowing how to structure it, and then hiring me to help them do it, and seeing them go from 0 to 100, like that's a good, it's a good feeling. Like, yeah, I did that. I helped, do that website. I did that, business plan, and I did that. Okay. Just hearing them say how much they are thankful for me because they didn't know. Like that's what I fall back on. Like that's the reward for me.
And you said you help them become fundable. What do you mean by that term, fundable?
Fundable means that you have a higher chance of getting approved for funding, like business credit, business grants, CDF islanders, which is not a hard thing. All you need is a business plan, and you can have as low as a 550 credit score and get approved $5,000 to $50,000 to go and open you up a brick and mortar or go and open up a daycare, something like that. It could be that simple.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know. Maybe did we talk on this? What's the most challenging part about what you do? Is there something else that's challenging that you think you need to mention?
About getting grants or just about me, like the service?
About your services in general.
It's just having to consistently repeat the process.
Oh.
And I don't have a problem with educating. I love educating my community on, the things that they need to scale their business or grow their businesses. But it's those people who be like, well, I can do it myself, or why I got to pay you a consultation fee, or why I got
that's your business.
It happens. Trust me.
I look. You're not. Listen, I already know. As a therapist, I know.
Yes, and that could be so frustrating because you have all of this knowledge, and you're telling them like, okay, this is the next step, and then they'll leave you on red. They'll either try to double back and say, well, do I have to pay, or they just they just ghost you, and I say that's the most challenging part.
Okay. Now, as you were saying that, it brought to mind a couple of things that I saw on social media. One was, and I'm saying this is something that we really need to work on as a people because this has been ingrained in us. Okay. So this one young lady, she did hair, and one of her clients pulled up to her house, saw her how nice her house was, and then her client said, "Oh, this stops today." So in other words, your house is so nice, but you're just one client. You
Right.
didn't pay for all of this
Yeah,
over
you're not
here
paying
that
all
she
of
has
this.
going on, and then you don't know what else she does to pay for her
Right.
home. We have to stop doing that. Now I'm not like that
Pocket
because I'm
watch.
not trying to figure out nobody's pockets but mine. Okay.
Pocket watching.
Oh God, but that's something we got to work on. That's
Yes,
bad.
yes, we
That's
do.
bad.
We do. Oh well, I ain't. She got a new car. I'm not gonna support her business because she thinks she. They actually think like that.
Yeah, I know.
I shared it. I shared that on Facebook.
You did? Oh,
Uh-huh.
baby, you post all day long on
All
Facebook.
day.
But I like your inspirational messages, especially in the morning time, the
Mhm.
motivational. I've been looking at those and
Mhm.
doing them with you.
Yes.
I love it. What are the things, well, we talked about that. What are the things that hold people back from applying for funding? Was there anything else that we didn't mention?
I don't think so. I know the fear, and then you said time. That's what I missed. It's the time. But then there's a flip side to that. Just because they don't have the time, that doesn't mean that they want to pay the pricing for
Oh,
the service. Because grant writing is hard.
okay.
It's not easy. It's not fast. It's
Hmm.
not like
It can be
it's not
tedious.
magic. A lot of people think that oh, it's a grant, it's free money, that it's magic, and it's not. Because
Hmm.
there's a whole different side to you have to go through the strategy part.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, and that's
Hmm.
another reason why a lot of people don't do it because
Mm.
it's it's tedious.
Okay.
Like you can get denied for not having um, a business email, a professional email. They say you got your business name at
Oh.
gmail.com.
Mhm.
Like they go through and score the
Mhm.
business off the structure first.
Okay.
So if you don't have everything that, if you're not fundable, is what I call it, or grant ready,
Mhm.
you already losing before you
Okay.
even start.
Okay. So is that an acceptable business email? Your name at gmail.com?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Absolutely not.
that includes me.
Now some nonprofits can get away.
Ooh. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
some nonprofits can get away.
And I mean, I have 3 websites,
Mhm.
so it's just a matter of taking the time to do the correct
Yeah.
business email.
Yeah, and you got the domain. All you got to do is go through your host and get your business email.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so now this one is a big one to me because a lot of people are getting discouraged with seeing the climate that we're in today with businesses and major corporations getting away from diversity, equity, and inclusion. Should people let the things that are going on right now discourage them from applying?
No, they should not, because the grants are still coming out. It's corporate grants. There's different types of grants.
Okay.
Federal,
Yeah.
government, local,
Mhm.
state.
Mhm.
If the government is not doing it, I can guarantee you, your state gonna do it.
Mhm.
And if the state stop, all of these billion and trillion dollar corporations,
Mhm.
they're not trying to give the IRS no money.
Oh yeah.
They taking that and put them in the form of a grant
Yeah.
as a write off, so they don't have to
Right.
pay that money in,
Mhm.
so that they can use that as
Mhm.
income. So
Yeah.
that we,
And
we go,
companies offer grants. And I
companies,
mean, we have a lot of major,
banks.
yeah, we have a lot of major companies here. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, y'all heard that. So it's not just the government offering grants, it's businesses offer grants, organizations offer grants. So just because of what's going on with people with well the government taking away DEI, that doesn't mean that there aren't grants that you can apply for out there. Okay. Now, a big one, you got a lot on your plate. You're a grant writer, and you do a lot of different things with businesses.
Yes.
So how do you juggle your job and your family responsibilities?
Ooh, I'm still learning, baby. I'm still learning, but my husband tell me all the time, you gotta write it down, create a schedule,
Hmm.
and stick to it.
Okay.
Time management is huge.
Yeah.
I know that's something that I'm working on, getting better at.
Mm-hmm.
But time management is a big deal. If you plan everything out before, like if I take Sundays
Mm-hmm.
and I know what I'm gonna cook, what time I'm gonna cook it, or what, like if I plan it out better,
Mm-hmm.
then I have more time and
Yeah.
everything flows. But if I'm just going off the fly, and I'm just doing this and adding stuff in there, like it could
Yeah.
get a little,
Yeah.
it get a little crazy, and I can get overwhelmed. But hey,
Yeah.
I wear many hats.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I know that's one of the things that I have a bigger problem, a bigger challenge with getting clients to do is writing down what they need to do. And I mean, you write it down and then you check it off or you put it in your calendar. I'm not really sure why they don't want to sit down and write those things down, take the time to do it because it does make the process easier. It does help you manage
It
your
does.
time better.
It does.
You know, it's just like you opening up something complicated or complex like that camera, video camera in front of us, and you have to put it together, but you don't want to read the instruction. You got to take the time and write down everything so you can know how your Monday, your Tuesday, especially if you're a busy person,
Yes.
especially if you have 2 or 3 children or 2 or 3 organizations that you're a part of, how will you be able to keep all of these things, all of these different balls juggling? You know, you got to have a plan. It doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen. I think people think certain people are magic
Right.
and it just happens for them. No, they write it down and they
Absolutely
follow.
not.
You know, and then if there's something on this list that you don't get a chance to do today, like if it's 10 things on there, okay, but then you'll get to the other 2 that you didn't do today. You'll get to those tomorrow.
Grace.
But at least you've got it written down. Yeah.
Grace.
And then you said, come on, talk to
gotta
a little
give
bit more
yourself
about giving
grace.
yourself grace.
This is something that I've been working on and pushing grace, because I try to do everything in one day. You cannot. You cannot.
I'm guilty of that.
You cannot. And now sometimes I find myself doing it again. I'm like, I gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. And a lot of times when I say it in front of my husband, he like, you got
It's too much.
It's too much. Do what you can do today.
Yeah.
And then everything, worry about what's first on the priority list. Like what's
Yeah.
the number 1.
Yeah.
Then what's the number 2. Then what's the number 3.
Yeah. Does he ever help you with some of the things that you gotta do?
Business wise?
Yeah. Or anything, actually.
He probably don't know this, but he's actually like my business coach.
He's your business coach? Okay. Now, how you don't know he your business coach?
Because I ask him for advice. Or I vent to him a lot, and then he tell me like, well, you can't worry about this, or you can't worry about that. You just gotta let people be, and he gives me the advice that I need in that moment.
Oh, okay.
And it sticks with me.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good to be able to have that. Okay, so y'all heard how they work together as a couple, because that's one of the things that I work with on clients too is, you know, how to do their relationship, coupling, whether they're married or living together, whatever we doing. This is how we gonna do it, okay? All right. So, this is a really good one. Of course, how do you protect your mental health? Prayer. Okay.
I'm big on God, and God is big on me.
All right.
Anything that I struggle with, I go to God first.
Okay.
And God is just important. I preach this in my communities. God is just as important in your business as He is in anything. If He in your life, you got to put Him in your business, because a lot of times we just put Him over here in our life.
Okay.
But when in the business, we like, oh, I gotta. No.
Yeah.
Stop. Hold on. Pray about it.
Yeah.
Pray about it first and ask God to lead you where He's trying to go. Like, I don't know what it is with business and God that people have separated a lot of times, but I don't do that. He's big. He's giving me all these ideas, all of the knowledge that I have to research, show me where to go, what to do, how to, like, He big on me.
Okay.
This is a God-given business, and I couldn't do it without.
Right.
I couldn't do it without Him.
Yeah. I think a lot of people maybe don't have that relationship where they hear from God. So as a therapist, you know, I'm telling you that that's something you can work with a therapist on, is with me on, is how to hear from God and develop their relationship. It's very important. I hope that people do businesses. Now, this is just me. I hope that people do businesses that God led them to do.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes even easier to hear from him about, what he wants you to do in your business and the different steps that you need to take.
Yep.
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 You want to tell people a little bit about how you do that, how you pray, because people don't know. They don't know if, they're supposed to pray out loud. Can they pray internally? When do you pray? Yeah.
Well, I say I wasn't always a prayer.
Yeah.
We start there. When I was going to a church called Living Purpose at the time. And when I was going consistently, that really opened up the door for me to hear from God and experience Him on a different level. Because I've always been spiritual. I've always, known God, talked to God about certain things. But that's when I really grew and I learned how to pray. And I learned everybody pray different.
Okay.
Everybody has their own relationship with God. I can't tell you how to talk to God. You might talk to God like your preacher. Somebody else might talk to God like this their best friend.
Right.
Just he hears us. He knows what's in here. He already knows.
He knows.
He just waiting on us to either ask or seek him in something. He just waiting on us to do it.
Right.
So we just have to first, God help me.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
God help me, guide me, show me where you want me to be. And that's the first step.
Yeah.
That's the first step is asking.
Ask.
That's the asking him for help.
Yeah. Seek and ye shall find. All right now.
Yes.
I like it. Okay.
Yes. The other thing is just even if you can't, like a lot of people are afraid. I used to be afraid to pray out loud.
Okay.
A lot of people are afraid to pray out loud because they don't I guess they think they sound funny or it's weird but once you get over that and you understand that that's a part of spiritual maturity and growth, it just fly off of you like.
Yeah. And because God sees the heart, I mean, He hears it honestly, no matter how you say it.
If you quiet, if you mumble it,
Yeah.
even if you just close your eyes and just say it in here, he hears it.
He hears it.
So it don't matter how you pray,
Yeah.
just as long as you pray.
Okay. All right. We're going to get ready to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about business funding as well as today's current events.